What's happening? Big Shay reporting for duty. Welcoming you back to another episode of the Yellow Cafe Podcast. And this morning is going to be kind of a rough one. Going to be a sticky situation. Even though common sense, we should all know right from wrong as humans, as Christians. But even as humans, we should all be able to look at this situation, call it for what it is, speak on it for what it is, and keep it moving easily. But the devil is so busy in this time and age that I don't know. I haven't heard too many people arguing about this one in terms of who's right and who's wrong. It's been pretty clear cut. I'm quite sure there are some people who are still going to find some hateful, evil reasons in their heart to feel as though why this woman should have been deleted the way that she was. But man, you have to look at this stuff for what it is, bro. Before we even get into this, you have to fully know and understand that the devil is busy in so many different type of ways to destroy us as humans. See, the devil is the only one that knows that we're all just humans at the end of the day. We're the ones that look at it as race and color and this or that. The devil knows he just wants to get us all up out of here. He's the only one that knows none of that matters. It doesn't matter. He knows where we all came from. We're the only ones running around here talking about, I come from Africa. I come from America, Indian. I come from Europe. I come from Switzerland. I come from wherever you say you come from, and you're in this country now. The devil is the only one that sits back and realizes all of them come from my enemy, which is God. He's the only one, I think, that notices that and realizes that a lot of times, while a lot of these things are going on and taking place, you're just caught up in the sauce and the emotion of it. There's so many different things I want to say. Like, just being honest. Me speaking on these situations, especially being half white, being that my mother is white, I can already know and hear that certain opinions that I'm going to have are going to be attributed to that. Oh, he's not for us. Oh, he's not. Listen, I'm not for anything blindly from the gate. I'm not all the time this side, all the time that side. I'm for sure never all the time black, because we do things that's wrong all the time, and I'm not going to sit there and agree with you just to save face. I'm not worried about saving face with the black race. I'm worried about saving face with the Christian race, with the human race. You understand? Now, when you're caught up in the flesh, thinking in the flesh, you can only see things for the level that they are on, for what you see with your eyes. But some of us are so quick to put a murderous allegation on a whole race rather than the individuals who do it. Let me ask you a question. In between every single time, and this isn't excusing a thing, but you might as well put your big boy pants on before I say what I say right now. I'm going to tell you right now, you better grow up and listen to what I'm about to say. In between these instances of these police murders that we see, that make the news, that every time we see these, the world comes to a stop. We're talking about these things. We want to protest. We want answers. We want all of these different type of results, and understandably so. But in between every one of these scenarios, how many murders do we witness from our own people, killing our own people? How many rappers have we seen murdered since the last police murder that we've seen? How many people in our neighborhoods have we seen killed since the last one of these incidents you've seen? And some of you haven't lifted up your voice not one decimal to holler about these murders. But now you see something that affects you in a manner to where whatever hatred you have in you, whatever anger you have in you from life somewhere else, anywhere else, you will use it and direct it to this particular situation. Even though you have more murderous partners, friends, associates, and family members who are criminals, who are doing things they have no business doing, and you sit there and praise it and laugh at it in the music. You think it's funny. You dance to it. How many of you since the last police murder have danced to rap music that celebrated the destruction of your people? How many of you? How many of you, since the last police murder that you've seen that you were so upset about, have danced or commented on some type of ignorance online that promoted ignorance between our people? See, if you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way. If you're going to be a freedom fighter for all, for everything you see. Don't just hold a blind eye to what you want to see, because when people do that to you, you have a problem. I'm not for the foolishness, bro, regardless of who it's coming from. See, I know good and well enough to know that if one policeman does something, it doesn't mean that all police are evil. The same way I know if one of my brothers and sisters does something out here, I'm angry when other races look at my race and say the whole race is garbage. All of them just need to go back to where they come from. See, you do the same thing that you don't want done to you, but you're so blinded by anger and hatred that you can't see it. And the devil is sitting back laughing because most of y'all call yourselves Christians. One thing I will say, I don't know anything about this woman on the screen right now, this beautiful European lady, but I know one thing. When you have European people speaking against you on a topic, you know you in the wrong. If you are a European and Europeans are speaking out against you, boy, you fried. You're fried. You're over with. You know you did something you didn't have any business doing. Now let's proceed. This isn't a funny topic. There's nothing comical about this. Let's give it all the proper due respect that is needed. Most definitely. But let's just talk about the facts and talk about things that took place in this situation, y'all.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. A warning to our listeners and viewers, we're about to discuss graphic details of police violence. The family of Sonya Massey is demanding justice after the unarmed 30...
Let me say this too. In watching the video originally, I thought this woman was, and I've had partners, a couple people told me the same thing. They thought this was an older woman. It isn't until, you go to seeing her pictures and finding out her information that you find out this woman is around your age. You get what I'm saying? But in the video, it almost seemed like an elderly woman. The way she was dressed, kind of the way she was talking. Some of the, when she hit that boy with the "I rebuke you, Satan," I just knew that was an elderly woman. That was that old school, you understand, religion she hit that boy with. So I just knew it was an elderly woman when she told that boy, "I rebuke you, Satan." I just knew it. But come to find out, this is a young woman, bro. A young woman.
6-year-old black woman was shot dead in her own home in Illinois when she called 911 for help. Police initially claimed she died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But police body cam footage has...
These people, the father of this woman was under the impression that she shot herself until the footage came out. I believe that if I'm not mistaken, the family of this woman found out the truth when the rest of us found out the truth, when that footage came out. Now, obviously, they may have found out something, a little bit before that, maybe. But I think that they didn't find out about what really happened until the footage came out like the rest of us. Come on, bro. Do you know how that would make you feel? And now, if I'm enraged, now I have to be the bigger person. Because if I want to do something to you based off of how you made me feel, now I'm wrong. But yet what you're doing is worthy of all type of cruel punishment. To play games like that with someone's family and to try to cover up your hate, your murderous activity. This is on a whole nother level, bro.
Just been released and has proved that all to be a lie. Former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who's white, has been fired and charged with
See, look, just her whole attire. That's somebody grandma right there. That's somebody auntie. You get what I'm saying? I thought that was an older lady, but maybe she's just an old soul, just be chilling, staying out the way. You understand what I'm saying? But I thought it was an older lady at first. Rewind it a little bit.
And has proved that all to be a lie. Former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who's white, has been fired and charged with first-degree murder for fatally shooting Sonya Massey.
That's it. Now, I could say that's a good sign. He was fired because most time they are suspended. They're still on paid leaves. So I do want to give them some props for firing and arresting. But then, as soon as I say that, I have to realize you didn't do this because you wanted to. You did this because you got caught. You turned this man in, you fired this man, you arrested this man because you got caught. If it wasn't for this, you would try to sweep this under the rug and hope that no one said anything about anything. So I don't respect this. I don't respect this as if you did something so honorable. You got caught. And now when so many people who look at black folks or whoever are complaining about the police, and out of your mouth, you utter the lies that there's no such thing as racism going on. There's no such thing as unfair treatment taking place. That's flat lies. You're lying. You're lying. You love your little comfortable life. You love your benefits. You love the advantages that you have in this country. And you're not going to do anything to mess those things up or even put attention on it. So you're lying. You're flat out lying out of your mouth if you're saying that these type of things do not still take place. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to base your life off these actions. Now you have to start talking about racism and calling everyone racist. But the first thing that you can do to be a real person, but to be a real human, at least give an ear to these people who you see things are clearly happening to. You think these people are crying and whining about the police for nothing? You think people are just complaining about these things for nothing? For all this time? Like, you know what took place in slavery. You know the psychological damage. Well, a lot of you don't know the psychological damage or effects of it. But it's still real to this day. It was not that long ago. And it just shows the lack of compassion and understanding in so many people. And most of them claim to be Christians. We know you're not. We know you're not. Many of you are too hateful to be Christians. We know that. Your Christian talk goes in one ear and out the other. We know you're hateful. We know you're racist. We know you're biased. But to just lie in people's face about the things that we clearly see is just showing your proof that you think some people are less than others. I'm just trying to bring awareness. I can't hate you because I have to love you so I can make it to heaven. I have to find a way to forgive you so that I can make it to heaven. But you're so selfish, so mad, you don't even want anybody speaking about your racist activity, your hateful activity.
Grayson did not activate his body cam until after he killed her. But the other officer's body camera was activated when they arrived at her house.
Yeah, now when watching the video, after he shoots the woman, you hear him curse like, oh man, like I forgot to put it on. And the other officer lets him know, nah, I'm on, buddy. I'm on. Got it all on camera. So why is your camera not on? So you're not trained properly. So this is supposed to be muscle memory to you when you hit the scene. So you aren't trained properly. You don't go through your training enough to where you know when you get on scene, you need to initiate that camera. And then you get mad when people say defund the police, but obviously you're not training folks correctly. Obviously you're not taking the money. What you have to realize and understand too is, like, you may have a policeman who's been on the force for 20 years, 30 years. In his mind, he's a professional. And he may be, due to the amount of different scenarios he's been in, due to him taking his training more serious than other people and stuff like that. But realistically, if you're a policeman, just the fact that you've been on the job for a long time doesn't mean you're a professional or anything. It just means that you've done things the way that your police department wants you to do things. See, it's not like an NFL player who has been in the league for years. It's like, you can't fake that. If you can't make the cut, they're going to get you up out of there. If you're not a great player, you're not going to be starting. You're going to get kicked off of a roster. If you think that police have the same standards, you're out of your mind. Just because anyone can become a policeman. The psychiatric evaluations are not the best in the world. They need people on the streets, so they're not really just going through the most strenuous training like Navy SEALs to be like, yeah, we're going to reject you. We're going to reject you. Yeah, we need you. There are plenty of policemen that slip through the cracks. So just because you're a policeman and you've been on the job for a long time, don't think that impresses people and that people are just supposed to look at you as some type of professional. No, it just means that you know how to police the way that police want you to police these people. You get what I'm saying? That doesn't mean you're the greatest policeman. That doesn't mean that you know all of the rules. That doesn't mean that you handle people with love, care, and concern. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't. There are many people who are great police, but don't think that you're going to come up to me just because you've been on the force for so long and think that that's supposed to translate to professional to me. No, you could have been one of the favorite policemen in one of the most racist counties in the world. All that means is you're great at being a racist. You're great at keeping your foot on certain people's neck. That's why you're a policeman. That's why you've been employed for so long. That's all that means. There's no standard to where we look at you all and know for a fact you're trained in the best ability. You're trained in conflict resolution. We don't see that. I sit here and watch police footage all day long. I watch a lot of police footage, a lot of interactions, a lot in which the suspects are at fault. The suspects are wrong, but a lot in which the police are at wrong. Like, these people are not going through training to the point to where you know for a fact you're dealing with professionals. You're not. And any policeman that tries to act as if they are, you're lying to yourself. And I don't know who you think you're talking to. But we see too many actions too many times where you all don't hold each other accountable. That's not professional. We see where too many times you all's anger gets the best of you. That's not professional. I don't care how a citizen acts. You have to conduct yourself in a certain manner at all times. It's like being a preacher, being a pastor. Someone can do to you whatever they want to. You still have to conduct yourself in a certain manner to represent the lifestyle that you say you represent. I see that all the time where that does not take place. Police just want to strong arm something because they have the numbers or they feel as though they have the rights. Train yourself better. Turn your cameras on. You wouldn't have police who are worried about putting their cameras on. That should be muscle memory. That should be embedded in your training. And if any one of you have a problem with that, that's your dollars going to this quote unquote training or lack thereof that's taking place. And just because you're not the one getting bust upside your head or shot in the face, you may feel as though this training is just beautiful. Until it happens to you. And see, that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think it's black and white, this or that. And it's really status classes. It's rich and poor. So see, a lot of poor white people don't understand, in politicians' eyes, you're the same as black folks. You're the same as Mexicans. You're the same as this or that. If your money can't change anything that they have going on or contribute to them in a major way, your voice is just as quiet as the rest of us. You can think differently. But you got some old snaggletooth poor white folks who's talking, acting as though certain presidents are going to do more for them than black folks, and they don't understand and realize the president doesn't want to shake your hand or hug you any more than he does some dirty black folks, some dirty Mexicans, some Asians, some Arabs, anybody. You in the same boat and don't even know it. You think you're better than everybody else and don't even know it because you're thinking and acting from emotion and flesh.
It shows the two men speaking with Sonya before one notes her stove is on and says, "We don't need a fire while we're here." When Massey goes to turn off the stove where a pot of water is boiling, a deputy tells her to step away from your hot steaming water. Massey can be heard saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and Grayson takes his gun out and responds, quote, "You better effing not, or I swear to God I'll effing shoot you in the effing face."
There's so much going on right here. First off, y'all can say what y'all want. I know there's a big argument about whether she had the water, whether she didn't have the water. I've seen videos where they have broken it down and shown that it appears that she did not pour this water out. Yes, there was boiling water still in that pot. Yes, there was. Yes, she may have been charging to throw the water. All of this is true. All of this could be true. And listen, even if you feel it isn't true, you don't have to be like, no, that wasn't true. That lady didn't have that water. Blah, blah, blah. I've seen the footage. I've seen it broken down, slowed down, paused. It looks like the lady most definitely did have that water in that pot. That's still not a reason to kill a woman. I don't care. That's still not a reason to kill her. What's happening? Big Shay reporting for Dude. Look, I just want to say I most definitely appreciate the views and any interactions. I've had a few people reaching out to me, sending direct messages and things like that. What I need for you to do is make sure you are subscribed, like the video, leave a comment. No matter what it is, just leave a comment. If you want the word, the message to spread, to grow, if you want to contribute and be a part of the Yellow Cafe community, just do that for me so that we could get this message spread out. Make sure you like. It takes no time. It costs you nothing. Subscribe. It costs you nothing. It takes you no time. Leave a comment for me. You understand? That's all you have to do. If you're rocking with us, you can go find the plate emoji. If you're in the Yellow Cafe podcast and you came here to eat, drop a plate emoji, drop whatever. But just show some interaction so we could grow. Appreciate you. I've seen police videos with a European man in the street swinging a sword and machete around. They still found a way to get this man down without lethal force. Numerous videos. There's not much this woman is going to do with that water. You could have hit her with the taser. There's plenty of things you could have done. But then the fact is, how do you go from all of these different type of ways that you could have stopped this to straight shooting her in her face and then telling her beforehand what you were going to do? You wanted to shoot this woman in the face, and that woman knew it. That woman called you out, called out the devil in this man, called out the Satan in this man. And it's almost as if once she called it out, it was like one of those scary movies where they doing an exorcism and they hit the person with the holy water and the person just goes, ah, just clicking out and screaming because the devil coming up out of him now. It's like once she identified the devil and the Satan in that man, he just went to cutting up. I'ma shoot you in your face. Oh yeah? It's like immediately once she called out the devil in him, the devil came out.
As Sonya Massey appears to duck and twice says, "I'm sorry." The video.
Now look at your gun. Your hand is on your gun. Why is your hand not on your taser first? Why are you automatically reaching for a gun with a woman who only has a... I don't care if it's boiling water or not. I'm going to back up. I'm going to have the taser. This woman can't throw this water that far. I'm looking at this woman. Do you know how strong you have to be to throw? Water is heavy, bro. Not only do you have to throw the water, you have to handle and swing the big heavy pot that the water is in. So you have to swing that pot, throw that pot with enough inertia to make the water, which is heavy, in it, come out and go far enough to hit you to where it's going to do what? Hit your shoe, hit your pants. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting there acting as if I'm trying to have boiling water thrown at me in any capacity. I understand that. But I know there's ways around this. You wanted to kill this woman. Then a lady stopping, sitting there begging, and you still going...
Shows Grayson moving toward her and fire 3 shots, ultimately shooting her in the face. This is a...
3 shots, bro? It took 3 shots, bro?
Clip of the exchange leading up to the shooting.
What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. Okay. You're not in trouble. I just need to text.
Massey.
Yeah. Do you have an ID? It doesn't make things so...
See, the way she's talking and acting, it makes me seem like something may be wrong with her. And that's what kind of gives that illusion of an elderly woman as well. It just makes it seem like there's something kind of, you know, mentally wrong with this woman on the slick. You know what I mean? Which means you should be showing more compassion.
It's easier. I just driver's license will do, and I'll get out of your hair.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I will get your paperwork.
What paperwork?
Okay. I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then...
One task at a time here.
Okay. Let me...
Bro, the biggest thing I want to say about this, and this is not this woman's fault. I'm not blaming this woman at all for this. But I just look at my community, and I'm like, why is this woman even at home by herself? Like, where are we as men to protect our women? Like why do we send our children? And this is a grown woman, so I'm not even talking about her. But some of us are so quick to send our young children out of the house soon as they're 18. When I'm going to tell y'all flat out, a woman isn't even supposed to live on her own. According to the Bible, a woman is supposed to leave the protection from her. And see, the black community is so tore up with this. We don't have any level of this correct. Because a woman is supposed to be able to live and stay in her home under the protection of her father, who is her head, until she is given to another man to take over those responsibilities and protections. That's why when being married, the people say, what man gives this woman to be married? Because as a man, you are giving up your protection, your leadership, your headship over this woman, and you are now transferring it and giving it, blessing another man with this responsibility that you feel is responsible enough to protect your child in the same manner that you would. That's why parents are supposed to be involved in the spouse selection process. But we don't even have the fathers in the home in the beginning of the process to protect the woman. So boom, that process is already broken. Then even if the father is in the home, we let the children leave the house and go to these different colleges, universities, or whatever it is, where these people are going to teach your children nothing but the filth of the land. Your children are going to go and involve themselves with fraternities and sororities where they sell their souls to Greek gods and false gods and pledge allegiances to Greek things that are going to just put curses on their lives for the rest of their life. Curses on their marriages for the rest of their life. We're not protecting our children. I'm not blaming this woman, but I would love a picture perfect scenario where this woman was married and had a man in his home. Now, this woman could easily be married and the husband is at work that night. That could happen too, I understand that. But we aren't even putting ourselves in these positions to have the best case scenario. This is what I look at as a community. Rather than calling the police, you know, some European women have their husband to call home from work. Come home, I think somebody's here. Now, yeah, they could call the police as well. But some people have men in their life that they could call to come to their house. Come check this out for me. You know when that man comes to check out your house, your family member, once it's done and he clears the scene, he's not going to shoot you in the face after that. You get what I'm saying? He's not going to roam around the house and see what else he could find to potentially put you in jail after that. But see, we want to holler about protection for our women, and then we don't protect our women. I want any child of mine to sleep under my roof every night of their life. I never wanted a life where I'd have a child sleeping over here, sleeping over there, sleeping over here, sleeping over there. Now, yeah, as a father, you may go to bat for that child if anything takes place, but guess what? It's going to happen before you find out about it, because you're not in that home. You're just going to have to find out about it after it takes place. You're going to have to find out about some stepfather doing something with your children he didn't have any business doing after it takes place. You're going to have to find out about some stepfather beating on your children or doing this or doing that after it takes place. I'm not blaming this woman. I don't know this woman's situation. But I just look at this and say, as a community, why wasn't someone there for her? Now we all want to be there for her after the fact and talk and be YouTube police and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And some of us going to still continue the same behavior that's going to create another Miss Sonya. Because some of us are going to be out here having children with folks that we know we're not going to be with, leaving them to be single parents, children who have one parent in the household and who eventually are going to have to grow up to live on their own, fend for themselves, and have no man to protect them. Some of us are creating more black women, more unprotected black women right now. You're going to leave away from this video and go listen to some music that rises up the urge in you to have premarital sex, or to go dog out one of your sisters. You're going to watch this video, then go listen to some music that tells you how little to think of your sisters, how little to respect your sisters. And then we're going to come back and look at events like this when it takes place as a community, as a village, and then talk about the respect we have for our sisters. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. I don't believe any of you. I don't believe none of y'all. I don't believe anyone who sits there and listens to everything that promotes the destruction of our people, and then when the time presents itself, you want to come and act like you're woke. Yet you just got finished listening to an artist who was accused of fondling children and little girls. But you're going to talk about how great the music is, though. I don't care. His music going to always be great to me. Well, you a sellout then. And I don't want you anywhere around me. You're dangerous. Because there's a price that could be put on your head. There's a price that could be put on you to turn your head from different actions.
Grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You stand that stack right there, maybe?
1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
No, that's where I'll shoot you right in your face.
So after that, Sean Grayson shoots Sonya Massey. Body cam footage later records him telling his...
Man, my bad. I think he cursed on here. I didn't want any cursing on here. I think he just... I didn't want any cursing on here, bro. But why are you drawing down on this woman like that, bro? Why are you ready? Look at your hand on the pistol. You ready? I don't even want to watch the rest of this. We know what happens. It's heartbreaking. I don't even want to play that anymore. What I want to tell you is you have to be careful to guard your heart from this situation. Though. The devil is trying to tear us apart, bro. And then the thing is, even his police knew he was wrong. If any of you all saw the video of him leaving out of the house after he killed this woman, calls her out of her name, calls her crazy, calls her the B word, like, you have no remorse for what you did, bro. You just took a life and you still disrespecting this woman, trying to make yourself look right. And you could tell, bro, all the police that's sitting outside when he comes outside, you could tell they must all know that this dude was a piece of crap. Because usually after a shooting, a police shooting, something like this, right, wrong, indifferent, the police still run up to their partner like, you all right, man? You all right? Man, how you okay, man? You okay? Like, even when they're wrong. When this situation, the body language that you see from his co-workers, they just looking like, boy. Look, you ever see the police, how they just sit back with both of their hands on their chest, like kind of grabbing the little, like just grabbing their vest, grabbing their bulletproof vest, just got both of their thumbs behind the vest. They just sitting there like, as if they just grabbing suspenders. That's how all of them look when he came out the door. They just were all sitting there just grabbing their little bulletproof vest, just holding, that's just like the little default police stance of just like, waiting, just sitting here chilling. That's how they all looked when he walked outside. They were all just sitting there, just grabbing their little bulletproof vest, just looking at that boy like, boy, you got some explaining to do. They were just looking like, I'm sure glad I'm not in your shoes. The one person, the one police who came to him to ask him you all right, man? How you doing? He responds to him by saying, this effing B is crazy, man. This blanking female dog is crazy, man. She was crazy, man. As if that's supposed to be like a great excuse. Oh, she was crazy? Yeah, man, that's why you had to shoot her, man. I understand. See, what I want you to realize is, though, yeah, this man is evil. But this man is no more evil than your brother who hunts people who look just like you. You know your brother who's scared of the police but not scared to take a black man's life? He's just as evil. You know that brother who's quick to kill you because he knows that your life is meaningless to the police and to the community, but he knows better than to shoot a European or to shoot a police because he knows that the whole police precinct will be in his neighborhood looking for him? See, all these dudes that y'all call gangsters, they know crap from sugar. They know crap from sugar. They know who to play with. That same devil that's in him, though, killing your brothers and sisters, is the same devil in this man just trying to kill people, period. See, this man is not only capable of killing black people. That just may be who he has his eyes on. But I guarantee you, a European that gets out of line with this man and makes him upset, he'll delete you too. Because the devil is in him, period. Period. So if you are not praying against and fighting against the devil in your community, the same as you are these devils right here, and I'm not saying these devils because he's white. I don't play all that white devil. I don't play all that. How could I ever say white devil when black folks in my community are more satanic and murderous than anybody I know? How? I'm not gonna fall for that trap. All y'all are murderers. All y'all gonna be in the same hell. That black gangster gonna be in hell next to that policeman who kills black folks. They gonna be in the same hell. Why? Because they were deceived by the same devil. So y'all could sit here and try to break it down, black man, white man. Man, you better just understand that the devil is busy. Preach awareness, preach righteousness, preach forgiveness, preach love. Because that same devil is invoked. That's not a different devil. That's the same devil that was in Adolf Hitler. That's the same devil that was in Cain when he killed his brother Abel. That's the same brother that was in the homosexuals in Sodom and Gomorrah that wanted to violate the angels of God when he came through their city. That's the same devil. So don't try to act like this is some different type of devil that kills black folks. This is a different type of devil that's racist. Man, that same devil is in all. You're just allowing yourself to see it differently. And that same devil is in some of you too when you get angry and filled with hatred and want to commit murder on someone else. The Bible tells us, how can we love God whom we have never seen, yet we don't love our brother who we see every single day? It's just not possible, man. So like I said, we know the truths about this. We know this is just another incident where we just hope full accountability can be given and taking place. But if not, you have to guard yourself against what the devil is trying to do to you. I've really noticed a major hatred rising up in me during like the George Floyd stuff, during all of the everything going on during COVID, all the different people who were deleted by the police. I've really realized hatreds in me and things rise up in me that I know was not of God. And no matter how justifiable I can try to name these things or make these things out to be, I know it's not God. And I know me allowing someone else's hatred to rise up in me is not going to do anything except destroy me and put me in hell. That's that same devil going to work. This is unacceptable, highly unacceptable. We know that. I just don't want anyone else to be affected by this. Because see, it's already bad enough we have these victims that are deleted. But then we take on a bad spirit sometimes after and feed some evil as well. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying what has to be done. This can only be done through Christ. You can't forgive in the flesh, because all you're going to be able to see is your fleshly reasons as to why you should be able to be angry the way that you are angry. The things of God cannot be discerned unless you are in the spirit. They are spiritually discerned. And if you're not in the spirit or living in the spirit, things of the spirit will seem and sound like foolishness to you. Just like the Bible says, the wisdom of God is foolishness unto man. The same way that the wisdom of man is most definitely foolishness to God. So I just hope, ask, and pray that you all don't get caught up, you know, in these attempts to affect our spirits and to affect our peace. Could you pray for someone who has done you wrong? Because that's who's getting into heaven. Don't compare yourself to your neighbor. Don't compare yourself to that hypocritical church member. Don't compare yourself to that backsliding preacher. You have to compare yourself to Christ. And Christ is the same one that said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I'm not saying it is easy. I'm not telling you it's easy. But it has to be done. For your soul's sake. For the sake of your children's souls. This has to be done. Praying with y'all, man. I love y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Don't tell me how much you feel in this comment if you are not dropping some type of, don't tell me how much you feel in this content if you're not dropping some type of comment. Come on, man. You got to help a half brother out, bro. The Yellow Cafe Podcast. If you felt you ate today, drop me a plate emoji in there. They got the forks, the knives, the plates. Drop me a plate emoji in there. Drop me a chicken, a piece of chicken. They got food emojis. Drop me some food. Let me know you're eating. Give me 100, 100. Something. Just let me know you're interacting though, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate those of you who have been reaching out to me directly. Yeah, we have a lot of plans, a lot of ideas, a lot of different things we want to do. So all that's coming. Just keep up the support so that we can make these things worthwhile once that time comes. You feel me? So I appreciate all of y'all, man. One.